Hey everyone and welcome back. In the previous video, we have learned how to set up a connection to WebSocket and open a connection to the socket. Now it's time to proceed and add the signaling methods to the other clients. To do that, let's start with adding a setter method for our connection state. It's going to be a private function set connection state that is going to get state of connection state, and all it does is use the connection state and set a new value to it. Let's go down here, and when the socket is opened, we want to set connection state to connection state waiting for call. Let's remove it. And also inside our remote socket client's new message, we want to have a function handle incoming message, which gets the message. Let's create this function like this. Close this one. So this function will check whenever a message type is like this, we want to handle the cases. So we don't want to use the find user. We simply pass the else block to it, because find user is going to be sent to the server only. It's like it has a naming conflict with the user offline inside my connection state here. No worries. Let's go back to the other functions. So the first thing to do is we want to have a function named find user that is going to send a signal to the server or to the WebSocket server and search for the user if it's online or offline. But first, we want to check if the target is equal to simple call application that user ID. It means we are calling ourselves. So we want to launch a view model scope and emit an event to our event state and notify the user you cannot call yourself, and return. We don't want to do anything anymore. But if not, we want to set connection state to waiting for call. And now it's time to send signal to the server. But first, I want to create a class named signaling clients. Let's go inside our util package, create signaling client class. It's going to be injectable. Let's add the constructor to it. We want to add the socket client to it. So the first function is going to be find user, which will have the target of type string. And all it does simply uses socket clients and sends data to us. And we will create a signal message model with the type of signal message find user. Sender is going to be simple application call that's user ID, and the target is going to be targets. Now let's go back to our view model, add it inside this constructor signal sender of type signaling clients. Inside here, we want to use signal sender and pass find user and pass target to it. So right here, if we send a find user signal to server, we should be able to see user online or user offline. Right? Then let's create these functions. Handle user online, fun handle private fun handle user online. It will receive message. For now, we will simply log the message. Also, private fun handle user offline will get the message as well. Let's log it again. Let's use them here. Handle user online, pass message, Also for user offline, handle user offline. Okay, let's go back to our main screen, and inside the WhoToCal component, here we should be able to uncomment this one if we make this function public. So we should be good to go inside our main screen and find user. Simple as that. Let's run our application and test if it's working. We don't see it because this connection status should be of type waiting for call, not opposite of waiting for call. So if we call ourselves here, it says we cannot call ourselves. If I write some dummy username, you should be able to see that inside this tag. You should see that user is offline. And now if I connect with a simple socket client, and if I connect with Joe, and right here write Joe, you should be able to see that the user is online. So we're pretty much good to go. Okay, now it's time to set up these two functions. First, for the offline, we want to set connection state to user offline and pass message.target to it. And also use viewModel scope, launch a coroutine block, and emit an event to the event state that says the target is offline, of course. And for online, handle user online, we want to set connection state to calling target. Message.target is going to be our target variable, as you can see inside our connection state. And after that, we want to start the call with timeout. So we want to wait like 20 seconds. And if we didn't receive any sort of response from the target, we want to set the timeout to it. And we will have the message.target as the incoming parameters of this. So let's start call with timeouts like that. First thing to do is we want to save this reference inside our view model. So let's create a private var target of type string, and it's going to be empty string initially. And down here we want to use this dot target is equal the target from the function. We want to use the signaling client or signal sender to send start call signal and give the target to it. Let's create this function inside our signal client. We use a socket client to send data, create a signal message model. The type of it is going to be start call. Sender, of course, is us. Target is target. Let's go back to VModel. Now we sent the start call signal, but we want to wait for a certain amount of time. And then if we didn't receive any, response, or the call didn't get established, we want to now send the state back to the waiting for call. Let's create a job up here. Private var call timeout is type job, and it's going to be null initially. Let's go back down here. First, we want to check if it's not null. We want to cancel it. And then it's going to be a viewModel scope.launch. And let's wait for a timeout millisecond duration. If connection state that value is calling target still, it means we didn't set up the call. So let's set the connection state back to waiting for call. And let's add a to-do to destroy the call connections later. The calls connection and stuff later. Now let's run our application and go back to the main screen and write the Joe name here. And you can see we moved to the call screen because we set the state to the calling target state, and also we receive the start call signal from the sender, which is our user ID, and target is Joe, which is us. And whenever the callback or the timeout is passed, we of course set it back to the waiting for call again. So right here, if we receive this start call, we want to handle start call. Pass message to it. Let's create this function. First thing to do, if connection state is on call, it means we are on call. We don't want to receive a notification that, hey, you have an incoming call. So we want to use signal sender and send reject call to the sender, of course, whoever sent us, and then return. So let's create this one. It's going to be same like this. It's going to be target, not sender. You want to send a reject call to the target, simple as that. But if we are not there, we want to set connection status to received call. And the sender is going to be message.sender. So let's see what happens inside our main screen whenever we receive the received call status. So if we search for received call status, you can see if the connection status value is this one, we will show the incoming snack bar. So let's run it inside two emulators and check if the notification is working. So let's copy this username and paste it here. Let's press call. Yeah, you can see we have an incoming call here. And if the timeout passes, we should be able to see this screen, and this notification is gone because this is handling inside my incoming snack bar. As you can see, we want to wait for the timeout duration and should be able to dismiss that one. Now let's go inside our main screen and decide what happens whenever the timeout passes. We simply want to fire a function inside our view model named incoming call dismissed. I'll create it in a second, and use a toast as context, and the message is going to be called timed out. And for the onAccept, use the view model, accept incoming call, we give target to it. Same goes for onReject view model, reject incoming call, and pass target to it. So let's add these functions. Inside our incoming call dismissed, we wanna set connection state to waiting for call again, and destroy WebRTC connections and stuff later. And for accept incoming call, we want to set connection state to on call now with these targets. And it means we are going to the on call, and we want to use signal sender to send accept call to the sender. And for the reject incoming call, we want to set connection state to waiting for call again, and use signal sender to send reject call, which we have like before. So let's go ahead and create this send accept call function inside our Signal client. We simply wanna use the socket client and send accept call. Let's go back to our main view model, and now we know if we received accept call, we should be able to start the WebRTC and other stuff and start the call. We should be able to start creating peer connection and exchanging the session description and ICE candidates. But if you receive the reject call, which is here, we wanna handle reject call. Let's create this function here. First, let's set state to waiting for call again. And then we wanna use ViewModel scope to emit an event to our event state and say call rejected. And after that, we wanna destroy the connection, the WebRTC connection and stuff. So right here, if we receive accept call, we want to use a function named handle accept call. We want to pass message to it. Let's create this function also. First thing is we want to set connection state to on call and pass message.sender. It means that we are in call with message sender. So it means we are ready to start setting up RTC connection and start the real call. But before that, we should be able to test the accepting call and rejecting call. Let's run it again inside two emulators, and if it works, we will move forward and set up the WebRTC stuff. Now both applications are working. Let's paste the username here, call it. We should press no. As you can see, call rejected. We went back to the waiting for call state again. Let's try it this way. Press no. Oops, I pressed yes. Now both clients are inside the on call. So that's it for this video. On the next video, we will start working with WebRTC and start creating our local stream and starting the call itself. So till the next video, see you everyone.